Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have some new review, and for this review, this is Redmi Note 11 Pro 5G. So wow, another phone review, but it's just an impressions video because this phone is not mine and I can only use it for 2 days. By the way, spoilers, there's no camera review on this phone, so if you're here for the cameras, well, I'm very sorry about that. Back to the phone, this is a successor to the Redmi Note 10 Pro and a new release Note phone in Redmi. There are Redmi Note 11, Redmi Note 11S, Redmi Note 11 Pro 5G, and Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G. And what I have is the Redmi Note 11 Pro 5G. Now let's start the unboxing. So here you go. This is the box of the Redmi Note 11 Pro 5G. It's a typical white box with the phone and branding. Same to the sides, and on the bottom is some info. Opening the box, first is a SIM ejection pin. Next is quick start guide, safety information, warranty card, and free gel case. Next is the phone itself. Next is Type-C charging cable and 67 watts charging brick. For the design, first of all, I love it. Even though this is a mid-range phone, it looks like a flagship phone to me. It has flat sides, which is trendy for phone design these days since the iPhone 12. Even though it has flat sides, it's still comfortable to hold, like it has some little curves between the frame and back. Also, the back is glass and both the back and front is protected by Gorilla Glass 5. The back is matte finish, so it will not attract some fingerprints. But when your hand is too sweaty, it will leave some marks. It's hard to explain, but the back has a feel little rubbery, even the sides. But by that, it's pretty grippy. It will not slip in your hand easily. It has 3 color options: graphite gray, polar white, and Atlantic blue. And what I have is graphite gray, and I really love it, like it makes this phone flagship. Also mention that this has a IP53 dust and splash resistant, so it has some protection to it against splash and dust. For the I/O ports and buttons, on the right side, there's the volume button and power button with fingerprint scanner. On the top is the 3.5mm headphone jack. Wow, there's headphone jack? I wish all phones have that. Next is speaker grill, a secondary microphone, and air blaster. On the left side, there's nothing, and on the bottom is SIM tray, which is a hybrid, so you can choose between 2 SIM cards or 1 SIM card and 1 memory card that can support up to 1 TB. I also wish that all phones have expandable storage. Next is a Type-C port, main microphone, and speaker grill. So wow, we have dual speaker setup, and let's hear the speaker quality. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have some new review, and for this review, this is new to my review episodes, which is this Oppo Reno 6Z 5G. So yeah, I'm starting a phone review, but this is just a first impressions because this phone is not mine and I can only use it for a little time in night only, so this will be not as detailed like a first impression. And for the display, it has a 6.67-inch Full HD Plus 120Hz AMOLED dot display with a resolution of 1080 by 2400 and its peak brightness at 1200 nits. And again, it's protected by Gorilla Glass 5. Still has the same display from its predecessor, but this is an awesome display. Mostly it's a mid-range phone, like it's bright, color accurate, great viewing angle, and many more. Just TMI, this is my first time using a phone with 120Hz refresh rate for days, and yeah, my eyes are dead because it's like it's new to me even though I use it for 2 days. But this phone doesn't have a 4K playback, but the Redmi Note 10 Pro has a 4K playback, but this doesn't. It's like a downgrade. The bezels are thin, and on the top there's a punch hole for the camera. Also, it comes with a pre-installed plastic screen protector, so you don't need to buy a screen protector separately, even the case. But the owner replaced it with the tempered glass, so this is not the original. For the performance, it's powered by Qualcomm Snapdragon 695 5G processor with Adreno 619 GPU and 6 or 8 GB of RAM. It's smooth when doing day-to-day tasks like browsing the internet, scrolling to social medias, and many more. Also, mostly with 120Hz refresh rate, it makes a great experience. I run Geekbench and Antutu into it, and these are my scores. For gamers, this is great for gaming and it can handle some games in higher settings. For example, in the Call of Duty Mobile, the high settings is very high and highest frame rate is max. But when you set the frame rate to max, the graphics will go to high, but when you set the graphics to very high, the frame rate will set to very high. When I played it, there were no frame drops or lags, like it's smooth even at the high settings. The phone is warm to touch after 3 to 4 games. For the connectivity, as of the name of this device, it has a 5G connectivity, Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.1, GPS, NFC, IR blaster, radio, and Type-C port that supports OTG. For battery, it has a 5000 mAh battery that can last you a whole day with light tasks, but I don't have a specific battery life. But for charging, it has 67 watts turbo charging, and it can fully charge the phone from 0% in just 50 minutes. So 25 mAh less capacity than the Redmi Note 10 Pro, but has a faster 67 watts charger. For the camera, well, again, you skip this part because I can only use it for a little time. I am really sorry about that, but here are the specs. On the back, it has a triple camera setup. The main wide camera is 108 megapixel, the ultra wide camera is 8 megapixel, and the macro camera is 2 megapixel. And on the front is a 16 megapixel selfie camera. For video, both back camera and front camera record 1080p at 30 fps, so it's a downgrade from its predecessor because it can record 4K at 30 fps in the back camera. Also, it doesn't have a electronic image stabilization, so another downgrade, some say because of the processor that this phone uses. For operating system, it runs MIUI 13 based on Android 11, so it's not Android 12, I don't know why. But I love MIUI, like my phone is Xiaomi Mi 90, it's really great, but since it's gonna turn 3 years old this year, there are some little lags. But now when I use this phone, it's great, I didn't have some lags or problems. And there are a lot of customization. This is what I love in Xiaomi. You have a lot of themes to download and they are for free. Like you can turn your phone into different devices like iPhone, Samsung, and many more. And also some of your preferences. The little problem you will have is bloatware apps. There are pre-installed apps that some you don't really need it, but it's okay because you can uninstall them. For biometrics, it has a side-mounted fingerprint scanner which is on the power button. It flashes fast when you unlock it. For me, the side-mounted fingerprint scanner is the best, like they make it look like a normal button, also a clean setup on the back, and also when you break the screen and change it into LCD or TFT, because AMOLED screens are so expensive, you don't lose that fingerprint feature, because if you have a display fingerprint scanner and change it into TFT, you will lose the feature. Like both of my phones, there's also an option for face unlock, but it's not secure because it's 2D, but it's fast to recognize my face. But I recommend using the fingerprint scanner. For the configuration and price, the 6GB of RAM and 64GB of storage variant is 13,290 pesos. The 6GB of RAM and 128GB of storage variant is 13,990 pesos. And the 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage variant is 15,999 pesos. So that's it for today's video about Redmi Note 11 Pro 5G impressions. Wow, 2022 is getting different here in this channel. So make sure to subscribe, turn the notification bell so that when I post a video, or this video when you like this impression video about the Redmi Note 11 Pro 5G. So goodbye! Yay!